I still feel the chill of the conference room AC on my neck when I remember the day the managing partners called me in, slammed a stack of client documents on the table, and said, "We're terminating your employment and reporting you to the state bar for falsifying evidence in the Henderson case." I froze because the Henderson case was my magnum opus, the one that was supposed to get me promoted to partner, the one I'd worked 18-hour days on for 6 months, alongside my work best friend Clara, the only person in that cutthroat big law firm who'd ever had my back. She brought me coffee every morning, listened to me cry about my mom's cancer, even let me crash on her couch when my apartment flooded. So when the partners said the falsified filings had my name on every page, I immediately said Clara can back me up. She reviewed every single document before we filed. That's when the first reversal hit. The partners slid a statement across the table, signed by Clara, saying I'd acted alone, that she'd had no idea what I was doing, that she'd tried to warn me about cutting corners. I ran out of that office straight to her desk, ready to scream, only to have her look up at me, fake tears in her eyes, and say, "I'm so sorry, I had to protect myself. You should have known better." That's the second reversal. She wasn't just throwing me under the bus, she'd been the one who'd swapped the final documents the night before we filed, who'd forged my initials on every falsified page, who'd planned the whole thing to steal my promotion, because the partner spot was only ever going to one of us. I went home, packed up my office, convinced my career was over, until I got a call from the firm's head of compliance, Margaret, who'd always been nice to me, who told me once that I was the best associate she'd seen in 20 years. She said she wanted to meet me offsite, that she had information that could help, that she didn't believe Clara's story for a second. I met her at a diner the next morning, coffee burning my throat, ready to beg for her help, only to have her slide a manila envelope across the table, saying Clara came to me 3 months ago asking how to frame someone for evidence tampering without getting caught. I told the managing partners and they told me to stand down. They want her because her dad brings in 40% of the firm's corporate business. That's the third reversal. The firm knew exactly what was happening and they'd signed off on it, ready to ruin my life to keep Clara's family's business. I left that diner heartbroken until I called my old mentor, Robert, the man who got me the job at the firm, who taught me everything I knew about litigation. He answered on the first ring, said he'd already heard what happened, that he'd stand with me, that we'd fight this together. I met him at his office the next day, only to have him admit, voice flat, that he'd taken a $50,000 bonus from the firm to stay out of it, that he couldn't help me, that I should just take the bar discipline and move on. That's the fourth reversal. The man who'd been like a father to me had sold me out for a check, no questions asked. I sat in my car in the parking garage for an hour, so angry I could barely see, until I remembered the one rule I'd lived by since law school: never send a work email without BCCing my personal account, never have a sensitive conversation without recording it, even if it felt paranoid. I had every single email from Clara about the Henderson case, every voice note she'd sent me asking how to alter the documents, every call with the partners, every conversation with Margaret and Robert, all saved, all timestamped, all irrefutable. That's the fifth and final reversal. I didn't just send that evidence to the state bar, I sent it to every single one of the firm's top 20 clients, to every legal publication in the state, to the Federal Department of Justice for fraud. Within 60 days, Clara was disbarred, the managing partners were fired, the firm paid me a $2.4 million settlement for defamation and wrongful termination, and 12 of the firm's biggest clients left to come with me to the new boutique firm. I opened with 3 other associates who'd been screwed over by the firm. I made partner on my own terms that day, no backstabbing, no selling out, just the knowledge that the only person you can ever truly trust in this industry is yourself.